What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to ask you one question. What do you do now that Monster Hunter Wilds base game is done? This is, as the time of this recording at least, one of the last couple days that you get for the Arch-Tempered Arkfeld challenge, and on top of that, there's no more updates coming. You don't have any more title updates, you don't have any more random patches, there's no new monsters. We're waiting till the DLC, which we do have an idea of information coming this summer, but as the time of this recording, it's the end of March going into April. That's still a couple months away. So, you might be asking yourself, what now? Well, most people think the game ends here. And truth be told, it can be for a lot of you that are fans of the game versus fans of the genre. And the genre being monster hunting. Truth be told, there's still a lot more that you can do. One of the biggest ones is going to be mastery of the game, mastery of your weapon, mastery of the monsters. That way you can keep progressing. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started where I talk about all the different ways that you can start to master the game and master the genre. That way you don't have to be done with the game if you're not ready to be. Let's go ahead and hop into that. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of people that think because the story is over, you've beat Gogmazios, you beat all of the Arch-Tempered monsters, that's it. And I'm here to tell you, not really. In fact, this is where any sort of diehard Monster Hunter fan would actually say the game starts. Okay, there is so much more that you can do, there is so much more that you can learn. One of which being, and probably the most important, is mastery of your weapon. Okay, you can see here that I have 472 hours in Monster Hunter Wilds. I am HR 543, okay? I have played this game a lot. I've made a lot of content on this game. What you may not know, though, is that I play every single weapon, okay? In every single rendition of the game since World, Iceborne, Rise, Sunbreak, and now Wilds, I have played and hunted in every single one of them. Because of that, I'd like to say that I'm fairly seasoned when it comes to what's going on. I've got a decent top 10,000 record against the Chotacabra, okay? I've got crowns on just about all of the monsters. I've played this game. I've got over 1,000 quests done and a ton of hunts on every single weapon, minus the heavy bowgun, of course, because I can't stand that weapon. But what you may not know, with all of that, is the fact that I haven't mastered most of these weapons. My positioning on Greatsword can be a million times better. My counterplay on Longsword and my spam slashes can be so much better. Sword and Shield, I still mess up the perfect rush. So what am I doing now that this is the time frame that we're in and base game is over? I'm developing all of the skills that weren't solved through brute force, a ton of healing, or hunting with my friends. Monster Hunter itself is a game about beating the monster, hunting the monster. The thing about it, though, is that most people, once they beat the monster, they kind of forget about it. There's a lot of monsters in the game, and I can guarantee there's been a couple of them that you guys have fought with other people. Maybe you didn't fight them solo. If you're not fighting all of these monsters solo, who's to say you mastered how it works? And let's say you have beat him solo. Is that the fastest time you can do? Can you do better? Can you run hitless? Maybe you can pick up the Akuma armor and beat a high in-game monster like that. There's a lot of different things that you can do. The rest of this video is going to be showcasing a little bit of what I'm going to be working on. Okay? Now, what I'm going to be working on is as follows. This is a little bit of a different video, but I'm going to give it to you how I'm going to do it myself in hopes that it helps you guys follow a path. One of the biggest things, at least, that I noticed when going back, rewatching some of my old videos, going in and looking at my old streams and the whole bit, I noticed that I was playing to win more than I was playing to improve in a lot of those opportunities. And I have an issue with that. I'm a perfectionist. I want to be the best, I want to hunt the best, and I want to be able to do the most when I am playing, both with my friends, with random people like you guys, or if I'm by myself. I'm always aiming to improve. And what I noticed is that I wasn't aiming for that. I was aiming to beat the monster. This Slegog Mazios, it was great. It was a lot of fun doing it with the SOS squad that I did, and then hitting it with my friends. Freedom from Solitude for the 10-star Arch-Tempered Arkfeld was the exact same way. It was a great time solo, and it was a great time with my team. The problem was, after I beat it, and I beat the time attack, I stopped fighting him. The reason for it was he's hard. I had a buddy that was rocking a full support Mushroom-mancer build that I have up on the channel that it was great. It worked really, really well, but it also saved me from a lot of mistakes. Meaning against Arkfeld specifically, like a lot of you, I'm going to assume you could stand to improve a little bit. That's what this time frame is before the DLC comes out. Being a better hunter. The better you can do now, the better off you'll be once we get to G rank or master rank for those of you that might be newer. We're gonna get hit hard when that DLC drops. If this is the scale at which that we are fighting now, it's going to get much worse, which means we might as well be prepared. So that leads into the point of what I'm trying to make here. Fight these monsters. Lose, learn, adapt, and overcome them. On top of that, when you are done fighting those monsters, or when you start to get to a point where you might be frustrated, walk away. Go and create different builds. Use different weapons, because every single weapon is going to teach you something else about another weapon that you might not have realized. One specific perfect example for me is Charge Blade, Dual Blades, and Greatsword. Now you might be asking, Sniper, what are you talking about? Well, here's the thing. Charge Blade and Greatsword are really similar in the aspect if you need positioning. Thanks to focus mode, it's a little bit easier, but the positioning you need to hit the big strikes is a lot more important than Dual Blades. What I mean by all of this is that with Greatsword's TCS spam, which I will actually go into the practice range real quick just to show it out. When you're using Greatsword, you need to be able to charge your swings. Charging your swings is going to be one of the most vital parts because it's going to lend you to do the most damage. The thing about it that most people forget, though, is that you also need to be doing the same thing on Charge Blade. For Greatsword, you sit there, and you get into a position, and you charge straight. Everything. Okay, this is the gameplay loop, minus a couple of things, rolling here and there, so on and so forth. But we're stagnant, we're slow. We're going for these big, big swings to try and do as much damage as possible. But truth be told, against faster monsters, your positioning needs to be perfect. Or at least really good. Charge Blade is the same way, especially if you're using SAED spam. You can see here, we are just going through. I'm going to level this up, get my shield, charge up some more files. And right here, we go into the super amped elemental discharge. I'm completely locked in where I'm currently at, just like I was for Greatsword. But let's say I want to use Savage Axe mode, like this. Now, with how I'm playing, it's more similar to things like Switch Axe or Dual Blades, because you are sitting here moving and swinging and doing damage the entire time. Mastery of one weapon, or at least the improvement of one weapon, is going to improve all of the others, because you're going to start finding connections that you didn't think were possible. In a lot of my videos, I sit there and I talk about the fact that there are certain weapons that work together with each other. Dual Blades and bow, hammer and hunting horn, longsword and bow, obviously the bow guns, switch axe and charge blade, so on and so forth. Being good with one weapon will allow you to see something in a hunt that you might not be able to see if you are good with another weapon, which means I'm going to spend more time advancing my skills with everything, and I think you guys should too. Another thing I'm going to stop doing is I'm going to stop playing with the training wheels. And what I mean by that is this. This is a prime example of one of my best builds on YouTube. And this is my meta comfy build. This is wonderful because it has all of the best offensive perks. It has some of the best defensive perks. And it's great. Honestly, it's really, really nice. And for the average player going for all of this, it's awesome. The problem is that if I'm trying to improve, Divine Blessing takes away some of the punishment that happens if I get caught lacking. Stun Resistance does the exact same thing. Item Prolonger is going to make it to where all of my buffs stay even longer. I'm not having to learn and grow because my armor, my skills, and my decorations are kind of taking away that opportunity from me. Which means I'm going to start rocking nothing. I am going to do this. I'm going to have no decos, no armor, and I'm going to take the weapons I'm most confident with and put myself to the test. In fact, this kind of segues into one of my most recent builds, this Heroics Fortify build, where I used it and I was one shot with one life the entire fight. And it was a blast because I felt like I was actually physically improving, fighting Arch-Tempered Arkfeld. I went in, got carded, immediately just started playing, and then got carded again, got weak, and that was it. I did end up winning, but I was able to see myself start to improve because I was seeing things happening with the monster sooner than it felt like I was before. And this is the prime thing to do now. Practice, improve, and move forward. That way, when the DLC drops, not only are you ready, but you're going to be a lot better off than when you first started. What I'm trying to say, long story short, is there's still a lot of things that you can work on personally. I might not be making up-to-date relevant builds anymore, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing the game. It just means that I am going to focus more on improving, to doing better. And that's what I recommend all of you guys do as well. Comfort got you through the story. Playing with your friends and comfort again got you through the end game. But, truth be told, skill is going to carry you the rest of the way. And this is me issuing a challenge to all of you. Do you have what it takes to put down some of the things making it a little easier and start to improve? I've seen a lot of people in my Discord. They've been absolutely killing it recently. There's a couple of them, I won't shout you out completely, but you guys know who you are, especially if you're watching this video, that you guys have been pumping out Arch-Tempered Arkfelds. You guys started out at 19, 20 minutes, somewhere around there, and I'm seeing times now for solos all the way down in the 11 and 12s. You guys are absolutely killing it. And truth be told, you may not be part of the Discord, but I think every single one of you watching this video is also capable of doing that. The question is, are you guys going to prove me right, or are you going to prove me wrong? That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.